All right, here we are around the campus again with, for the first time, an actual student. Usually I interview graduates of the program, but let's talk to you, Mike, the student. All right, how you doing first off?
Good, and hopefully I'll be a graduate pretty soon.
Yeah, you guys have about, 2 more weeks left of the class? You got your radio finals, so when you first come back from January break, Christmas break. So how are things going into your radio final?
Going well, so I've got a group of it's me and 4 other students. We're going to be doing a radio show. It's politics based. So we were split into 2 groups. The other group in our class is doing sports. We're doing politics. So very interesting, but we've been kind of just prepping for that. We made a logo for it, just trying to get all our thoughts in order, and then we'll do a rehearsal, and then we'll actually record the radio final.
All right, and then after that, you have your video final, which is going to be the television final, which incorporates both a commercial and a news package, right? How's that been going?
Yeah, super exciting. So we've all been working on, recording, writing, producing, recording our own commercials, and then, going out and doing, sort of a mock news package that, hopefully we'll be able to use as demo material in the future after we're done. But yeah, so for the TV final, we're going to be putting that all together. It's going to be a live broadcast. It's going to be all 10 of us, all hands on deck, just a huge team effort. So we're all super excited about that, too.
Now, when you first started the class, 8 weeks, 9 weeks ago, did you think that you would actually be able to do all that you can do now at the beginning of the class?
Yeah, no, I guess is the short answer, but I didn't really know what to expect. I've been sort of interested in TV and radio for some time now, and sort of kind of just decided to pull the trigger and come here to sort of learn about some of this stuff. But I think when you look at it from a distance, it seems like a little bit difficult. It's like, how is all of this happening on TV? It seems like there's so many moving parts and so much that goes into it. And it was really foreign at first, but once you really start getting into it and learning how this stuff happens hands-on, going into the control room and getting to use the equipment, and then getting into the studio and getting comfortable in there too, it all sort of comes together, in a way where now I have such a better understanding of how all of this happens, than I did initially. And
what do you think about the instruction that you've had here with some of your instructors? You've had Rob Pendle, you've had Matt Austin for your TV side. Kind of talk about how they have lended their expertise into the curriculum and kind of brought forth what they do on a daily basis to the classroom.
Yeah, the instructors here, first of all, I've been super happy with everyone that's taught us. Everyone's been extremely qualified. They're all professionals that are working in the industry, that have years of experience, actually doing these jobs for a living. And they're also just great people. I think that, Joe and Rob and even Matt coming in to teach us, I think they're all, they feel and sort of invested in us as, students, and they really want us to succeed, and they will, they'll go the extra mile, to help us get there.
Right.
So it's been, that's been a great experience, being able to connect with them, on a professional level, on a personal level as well, has been super rewarding thus far.
And so now you're working your way up to the end of the class. What are your expectations of what happens after class?
That's sort of the next step. And, I know over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be sort of, reviewing some of that stuff, how to put a resume together, how to get yourself out there to be eligible for jobs after the course. For myself, I don't have a ton of expectations. I could see myself going in a lot of different directions. So I think, I'm sort of just focused on what opportunities are there, and then, considering that, and then hopefully getting myself in a place where I'm doing something that I have the skills to excel at, and I also enjoy.
Right. And, do you feel as if you're ready now that the course is over? Do you feel as if you're going to need a little bit more time to kind of still practice and get some of your stuff? I mean, some students, when they graduate the program, some people are just ready to hit the ground running and go after the job. Some people, most people, it actually, they feel as if they need some more time in the studios. How are you feeling?
I mean, I think I'm ready enough. I feel confident that I could go out and work in radio or TV now. But obviously, like, practice is never going to hurt. And like, I have a long way to go, obviously, to get, to the point where I would be, I guess I'm trying to say, I feel comfortable enough, but you could always feel more comfortable, and there's always more practice that you can do. So like, the great thing about this school is that after I graduate, I can come back and use the studios. I can come back and use equipment. So I can continue to hone my skills even after graduation. Which was one of the selling points, honestly, for me coming here, is being able to, graduate in good standing and come back here and again, practice and work on my skills. If I need to record a demo or something like that, I can come back here and do that.
Right.
So,
all right. And then with yourself getting your resume together and things like that, talk about the work ethic that it took during the class, so that you were coming into practice on things, going out, shooting things, keeping to the timelines of different assignments and things like that. And then talk about the work ethic on the other end of the class, what it's going to take to go off and get work in this.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the class itself, my best advice would just be to really just like soak everything in. It flies by. It's an 8-week program, like you mentioned earlier. You gotta want to do it. I think, if you're here and you don't have an interest in this, or it's not something that you're willing to like put 100% into, then it's not going to be as rewarding for you as it has been thus far for me. I've tried to really put everything into this and give it, as much as I could. And there's a lot of opportunities to do that, but you kind of have to make it for yourself. I mean, the instructors here, like we were saying, are great, and they're literally going to walk you through everything. And, if you have issues, if you have questions, like, there's always somebody there to answer that and help you with that. You just have to, to put yourself out there.
Right.
So, and then in terms of afterwards, I don't know, that's sort of an unknown. And again, hopefully we'll learn more about that over the next, over the coming weeks. And
usually right after graduation, and even though contractually we're done, right. you talked about it, that we do allow students to come back into the facilities and things like that. And actually, the day after graduation, I think, is the demos and resume workshop. So you'll start to get your information put together, and you'll be introduced to Amy, who's the Farmington's career counselor. She's Amy Gray from Radio 104, and she'll kind of work with you on getting your stuff together and making sure that you're going to present yourself correctly when going after jobs and things like that. So, I think the goal here is in the next couple of weeks, you'll start throwing out resumes, interviewing, getting yourself out there, and then hopefully we'll have you on the podcast in a couple of months with your first job under your belt.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, again, like that's going to be great, I think, for all of us to get, yet another person who's working in the industry giving us advice on how to move forward. I'm not expecting it to be super easy. I'm expecting it to be competitive, and I think,
and that's a good way to look at it, because there are obviously people going after these jobs. I did a podcast a couple weeks ago with a couple of graduates, and they sent out 20 plus resumes before getting their first bite. And sometimes that's what it's going to take. So those are the expectations to kind of think about going into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's fun, it's rewarding. And I think you've done very well in the class, and I look forward to seeing you grow on the other end of things.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I've had a blast, and the students here also, like, our group of class has been phenomenal. I've made friends here. I've already made a ton of connections. And like I said, it's been super fun coming here every day. So
And just in summary, if you're to sum everything up, and somebody walked up to you, they saw you walking out of the building, and they said, "Hey, what's that place like, CSB there, the broadcast media program?" What would you tell somebody?
I would tell them, that I've absolutely loved it. Like, I think that, if anybody's interested, just come, check out, go for a tour. That's what I did. It's a great facility. You can check out all of the equipment, like everything that's here. You can meet students, you can meet some of the instructors, but, again, literally just come in for a tour. You have nothing to lose. And it could be something that, that could really have an impact on your life.
See if it's right for you.
Totally.
So I'm glad it worked out for you, and look forward to seeing you kind of grow in the business. And again, hopefully have you on the podcast in a couple of months with your first job under your belt. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out and being on the podcast for Around the Campus.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks for having me.